What's up, Capricorn? So I know y'all like, ooh, Peter, like, what you doing? But listen, I gotta go ahead and get this out while I'm getting the download. So it don't never work out like how we pretty much wanted to work out. It just work out. And sometimes when downloads come in, I know that it's best for me to just go ahead and record when it's time. So what sources wanted me to tell y'all is pretty much look, my baby, see, he come. Soon as I come in here, he want to come. But what sources want me to tell y'all is that y'all are very resilient, and y'all have been pretty much tackling things, bouncing back from adversity, all of that good stuff, you know, your entire lives. All right, you guys have a very good sense of, you know, when things hit y'all know how to maneuver and navigate and things like that. But it's time for you all to kind of like go into this period to where you were isolated. And it's like a much needed isolation, though. It's not like one of those isolations to the point to where you're depressed and all that. It's one of those things so that you can really see clearly, because you're unable to see clearly because there's so much moving pieces and you need to get off to yourself. All right, you need to get away from a lot of people. You need to get away from a lot of things. Okay, and so if you feel like, you know, people are throwing things at you, like, you know, people are cursing you, or, you know, people don't have your best interests at heart, it's very important for you to get off to yourself and get in silence so that you can see what's going on around you, so that you can see how people are moving around you, because you can't really see it if you're all over the place, if you're making all these different moves, if you can't sit still and things like that. And so you might be like, oh man, I'm not doing enough, but it's time for you to go into that period of isolation. Okay, and so it's just like, look, you need to nurture yourself. All right. You need to nurture yourself. It's great that you sometimes you care about other people and you want to do things for other people, but you need to take care of yourself. It's time for you to really pour into yourself and bring your own visions and your own dreams and your own things to light. All right. This is the only way that this is going to work out for you. All right. Yes, it's great. You want to help people. You want to do this. You want to do that. But it's time for you to really live out your own passion. And they're saying that if you begin to, you know, get this self-isolation going and doing some of the things that you need to do, you'll start seeing your passion like flow out ridiculously, like you'll overflow with your own passion. But there's, you know, it's going to be definitely a requirement for you to really become centered and focus on your own ideas and your own aspirations and things like that. It's like you can't even pour into nobody else if you're empty, if you have nothing to give. So you just give into you giving to everybody else, and you kind of like leaving your own plate. You leaving your own plate empty, so there's nothing for you to really get any substance off of. That's what I'm getting. Like, it's like you're filling everybody else's cup, but you're leaving your cup pretty empty. So they're saying like you need to really nurture yourself and do what it is that you need to do. All right. So, but again, if you're feeling like people are coming against you, or there are people around you that don't have your best interests at heart, then it's time for you to really, you know, get away from those type of people, get away from those type of energy. And what's happening is like, it's like, although you just going through this transformation, or you going through this something, you may be purging, or you may be purifying. What source is saying is like, look, this is like an initiation process for you. It kind of feel like, you know, you're going through ups and downs, and then you're going through leaps and bounds, but then you have a good day and then you have a bad day. So this kind of like the initiation process for you. Like, you really, like, because you're so resilient, they know that you can handle this stuff. And I know you're like, oh man, that's, you know, why are they taking me through this? They're taking you through certain things because it's kind of like an initiation process that you are going through. And listen, you're going to live out your desires. All right. Or you're needing to live out your desires. All right. This is something that is supposed to happen. This is something that you're supposed to be doing. This is something that was destined to happen. All right. But there's something that you're avoiding. Like, there's something that you really need to look deep inside of yourself, because source is saying like you're avoiding something. Like, there's this great void that you keep avoiding and you keep overlooking it. But once you address this particular issue, once you figure out what this thing is, once you dig deep to try to find out, okay, I got to do this, or I got to do that, or there's something, you know, there's something that's going on within you that you haven't dealt with. Once you address that that necessary thing that is needing dealt with, then guess what? You will be able to really tap into your passion and tap into your desire and tap into those things that you felt like you did not have access to. But you have access to it. You have access to all of these things, but it's going to require you to do a little reflection, a little self-exploring in order for you to access this stuff. You do understand that, right? So there's going to be some sacrifice required of you. Like, you have to, they're like, it's not just going to come just because, you know, you're sitting down and you're praying the spirit and you're wanting this to come. It's not going to just come like that. It's going to take something. There's going to be something required of you in return. Like, there's going to be some application or some type of action required of you in order for you to access what it is that you're wanting to come into fruition. This is going to require you to commune with source. This is going to require you to do a lot of things. Like, source is saying that, like, you're not taking up enough time with your spiritual practice. Like you're doing it, but you're not doing it. Some of you are not doing it at all. And for those of you that are doing it, then you're definitely going to tap into your heart's desires. You're definitely going to access these different areas. You're going to come into connection with this divine energy. You're going to prosper in your creative projects. There are others of you that sources like, look, I need for you to really get with the program. Come sit with us. Come do what you got to do. Sit with your spirit team. Sit with your guides. Commune with them. Talk to them. Commune with source, because there's a need for this for you. All right. This is the only way that you're going to get the answers that you're looking for. So you really have to just really sit down with source. It's like that's like the only way. Like, you have to sit down with source. You have to sit down with these guys. You have to do this work. All right. It's like Capricorn, if you're wanting things to transpire in your life, that the only way you're gonna be able to get it accomplished is that you do what is necessary for you to do in order to live your best life. I know, like, living your best life, but living the life that you desire. All right. But there's no other way that you're going to be able to do it. And then once you do that, then you kind of go with the flow of things. You can kind of relax a little bit. It won't be so hard. It won't seem like so much of a lesson anymore. It won't be any of that. But you just kind of got to, like, do what you have to do on a spiritual level first, and then you're going to see how things are going to unfold, but it won't be so hard. But definitely that period of isolation, pouring into yourself. It's like you're pouring into everybody, but you're not pouring into yourself. Once you begin to pour into yourself and do this work surrounding yourself, guess what's going to happen? Your desires are going to show up. Your gifts are going to show up for you. All right. Your gifts are going to show up for you. And when your gifts show up for you, then look, you would never be without. You would never not have. You would never, you won't have to worry about those little basic needs being met, because they're going to be met as long as you're doing what you need to do on your end. But there's definitely going to be work required. But once you do this work, this could literally change your life, Capricorn. Okay, this could literally change your life. It's like you're doing the steps, you're doing some of the steps, but you really have to do more. You have to do more. You have to commit more. All right, commit more of your time, commit more commit more to this work. But it has to get done by you. Once you do this, it's looking like that. Once you do this, things are going to start coming together. All right, things are going to start coming together. The dots are going to start connecting. So that is what you want. Your dots are going to begin to connect. All right, these projects, these things that you are trying to unleash into the world, it's going to start showing up. And that's just the bottom line. You are protected. So if you're worried about being protected in this time, you are protected. Source is protecting you. You got a whole team of guys that are protecting you. Okay. But you have to believe that they're protecting you, because sometimes it's like, you know that they're protecting you, but then you start worrying a little bit and you like, oh, are they really here for me? Yeah, they there for you. Like, they're not going to just pretend to be there for you. They are there for you. You just have to believe that they are there for you. So do the work, Capricorn. Do what you got to do. I know your message was quick, but quick is efficient. Like, it's efficient. That's all they really need to say. Get off into that isolation. Get by yourself. You don't need nobody. Don't be worrying about who's coming in. All right. After all of this other stuff unfolds, guess what? Whoever is meant to be there is going to come in. All right. These gifts, these projects that you're working on, the more work you do, the more things are going to start to connect. Thinking about that grandmother energy. All right. Thinking about that spider energy, that connectivity is going to happen for you. Okay. But yeah, just get off to yourself. Work with source. It's like y'all need to be best friends. All right. Figure out what that void is. What is that void? What's that thing deep within that you're not really looking at? Because I believe they mentioned something like this, you know, before. Like, it's something that you're just kind of, either you're seeing it, but you're not wanting to tackle it right now. And so it's like, you need to tackle this right now. All right, you need to tackle this. You need to make sure that, you know, that whole vessel is clear. Because once that vessel is clear, then you're going to start noticing your desires, your dreams, and your aspirations coming into fruition. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed that little message, and I'll holler at you.